guys, it's Julie. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 different looks using the new Morphe 39S palette. This was just released and is a beautiful purple palette from Morphe. It's in their new kind of style that they've been doing since the 39A, their Dare to Create palette. It is actually massive, like it's a huge palette. It retails for $35 and you're getting 39 shadows, so you're paying less than $1 per shadow. When I first saw this palette, the first thing I noticed was how many shimmer shades were in here. There's 21 different variations of shimmers, whether they be more of a satin finish or more of a glitter topper or just your traditional shimmer eyeshadow. And there is one pressed glitter, which is down here, and then the rest of the shadows are matte. I feel like from an aesthetics standpoint, this is very pleasing to look at. The color scheme is absolutely gorgeous. And even though when you first look at this, all I personally see is a bunch of pink and purple, I wanted to show you the versatility of the palette. So I did a neutral look, a pink purple look, and then this smoky eye that I'm wearing right now, just because I know for me, when I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to purchase a palette, I try to think of all of the different looks I can create with it. And if 95% of the looks that I can create are going to look the same, I may not get it. So just tried to show you some of the versatility in that sense. I thought it was interesting that they made this row a bunch of shimmers. These seem to be a bit more like toppers than full opaque shimmer shadows, but nonetheless they are still gorgeous. They almost feel like they have a slight putty texture to them, similar to a ColourPop Super Shock shadow. I don't know the ingredients or the science behind it, but that's just my experience with them. Obviously, I haven't used every single shade in the palette, but overall, I can definitely tell the quality improvement from Morphe over the years, because I used them back when the 35O was originally released, and they were a completely different formula when they were more chalky, a bit more dusty. These are actually beautifully pigmented and they blend out really well. Are they the best eyeshadows in the entire world? I wouldn't say so. I mean, Natasha Denona, fabulous formula. Anastasia Beverly Hills, amazing formula. However, this is still really great. It's still easy to work with and it doesn't get me frustrated. I feel like that's kind of how I determine whether or not I like a shadow formula, is if I'm doing my eyeshadow and I'm getting frustrated because it's blending away or it's not sticking or something like that. Like, that's when I'm like, okay, this formula sucks. That didn't happen to me with this. That's all I'm gonna say about the palette itself. This actually feels like really heavy. I don't know if they put like more magnets in this or something, but I feel like I'm like holding a book right now. I'm sure this video is going to be long enough with all of my tutorials, so let's go ahead and get into it. So the first look I want to do is a very neutral brown look, because even though this palette looks extremely purple, because it is, there are neutrals in here where you could create a very neutral look. The first shade I'm dipping into is called Super Swanky, which is just a mid-toned brown. And then taking a fluffy crease brush, this is the Sedona Lace 863. Wow, it's actually way more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. I am blending this into my crease. I did prime my lid using the P. Louise base in the shade number 1. And then I did set the primer today with a face powder. So I am working on a dry base, not a tacky one. Shadow itself seems very soft and easy to blend, which is nice. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do for that shade. And then taking a separate blending brush, this is the JS5, which is slightly more tapered, but still very fluffy and blendable. I'm going to take the shade Fame Game, which is just a deeper brown, and I'm putting it still in my crease, but keeping it below the first shade I just laid down. I always like to keep the brush that I used for the first shade handy so that I can blend it out as I go in case I make any mistakes or if I need to soften any edges or anything like that. Then taking an even smaller blending brush, this is the Luxe 231 small tapered blending. I'm actually going back into that dark brown Fame Game and putting that in my outer corner. Taking a bit of the very first shade I used, Super Swanky, and I'm just reapplying that on the top because I feel like the shade was getting lost a little bit. Now I'm going to take a bit more of the P. Louise base, which was my eyeshadow base, and I'm going to cut my crease using this. And I like using just a very small little concealer type brush. This is from Coastal Scents, but it doesn't have a shadow brush number name on it. This isn't a full-blown cut crease. This is more of a half cut crease, which if you follow my channel, you would know are my favorite types of cut creases to do. Then once I get to the edge, I like to pat it out with the brush and then also go over it with my finger so that it's easier to blend. And then I like to take the brush that I used for whatever shade is on the outer corner and flick it inward. Oh no, how did I get glitter? And just flick it inward to make the blending easier. I want this inner corner to be very bright, so I'm taking the shade Catch the Light on my finger without setting the base. I'm pressing that directly onto the lid, making sure not to go above where I put the eyeshadow base. And obviously my finger can only do so much, so I like to lay it down with my finger because it gets me the best pigmentation. But to be precise, I like to go back over it with a brush to really get it in every crevice. It's gonna go back in with a bit more of that dark shade Fame Game, then a little bit more of Super Swanky, taking a bit of the shade Perfection, putting that right in the inner corner. So now I'm just taking a bit of the NYX Epic Ink liner. I think I'm actually gonna do a wing. Alright, so I just went ahead and popped on some lashes and put some makeup on this half of my face. I know it looks creepy and crazy, I know. But the lashes that I used are the Lily lashes in the style Miami Light. I felt like even though this was a neutral look, because of the wing, I wanted something that was really long, voluminous, and fluffy, and that's exactly what these lashes are. So to finish off the look, I'm just going to go back into the two brown shades that I used in my crease, which were Super Swanky and Fame Game, and just run that under my lower lash line, except I'm stopping right about where my pupil is, because then I'm going to dip into the shade I used all over my lid, Crystal Light. Alright, so now for the second look, I went ahead and primed my lids and set them just like I did on this side. The first shade I'm going into is called Pink Prize, and I am using the same brush that I started with on the other side, which was the Sedona Lace 863, and I'm going to do the same motion of, whoa, this is pigmented, putting it into my crease, except I'm bringing this shade closer in towards my inner corner because I'm going to be doing a halo eye, and I want to make sure that the color can be seen on both the inner and outer corner. So then taking the Luxe 231 in the shade Purple Majesty, I'm doing the same motion except doing it more in a half moon, so really concentrating it on my outer corner and then bringing it into the inner corner. So then taking my Morphe M506, I'm taking the shade Make It Rain, and I'm putting this just on the outer corner. I'm also putting it in my inner corner. Now taking more of my P. Louise eyeshadow base and the same little concealer brush, I am going to cut my crease, but this time just in the center because we're doing a halo eye. So then I'm going to take this purple duochrome called Total Goals on my finger, and pat it right in the center. And then I'm going in with a brush to just really get the edges. And then I'm taking more of the Make It Rain shade and reapplying that because I feel like it got lost. So then I'm taking the shade Oh Yes and putting that in my inner corner. I'm gonna do more of my face makeup and lashes off camera and I'll be right back. So I really wanted the eyeshadow to shine through with this one, so I went with a shorter, less dramatic eyelash for this side, and these are the Kiss eyelashes in the style Tool. To finish it off, I'm putting the shade Pink Prize under my lower lash line, but just on the outer and inner corner. And then same thing with the shade Purple Majesty and Make It Rain. Then I'm taking the shade Total Goals, which was the shimmer, putting it right in the middle. And this is the completed second eye look. It's so funny to have like two completely different eye looks on. It's so strange, but I'm going to start with the shade Posh Boss, which looks like a very cool toned gray that almost has a bit of a purple lavender undertone. And I'm going to put this right into my crease with, can you guess, my Sedona Lace 863 brush. And then with my Morphe M506, I'm going to dip into that brown shade Fame Game and put that in my outer corner. That just gave me a lot of fallout. So I wanted to put that shade down to almost act as a base layer for the next shade, which I'm gonna take Rocks On, which is a black with, it looks like green shimmer in it. I'm hoping the shimmer doesn't show up, but it probably will. And I'm patting this on the outer corner of my eye. So the glitter shows up, but so faintly, it's not enough to really bother me personally. Whenever I do more dark smoky looks, I personally don't always want it to look so structured and perfect, so I'm not going to cut my crease for this particular look. So I'm taking the shade, like I said, Dazzle 'em on my finger. Wow, that's disappointing. Literally nothing shows up. I'm actually going to take the shade Treasure Trove, which is right underneath it. Ooh, yeah, okay. And put that down first because I think the shade Dazzle 'em is more a topper shade. So then I'm going back into the shade Rocks On and deepening the outer corner again. I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Make and Bank, which is this really beautiful silver, and put it right in the innermost part of my lid just to brighten it a little bit and give me a slight more gradient look so it's not so harsh. So now I'm just gonna do the other eye and the rest of my face off camera, including lashes, and then I will come back to finish the lower lash line. So I just finished the rest of my makeup off camera, and I'm just going to finish up my lower lash line by taking the shade Posh Bosh, Fame Game, and Rocks On and just smudging them under my lower lash line and then applying some mascara. Oh, and the lashes that I'm wearing are from Ray Beauty, and they're in the style Raylin. So as you saw from my intro, this is the final look from the last look that I just showed you. All of the products that I have on my face will be listed in the description box below in case you're curious. I pretty much summed up all of my thoughts in the beginning of this video, but I had a lot of fun filming this video. I think this is a really fun palette. I don't think this is going to be for absolutely everybody because not everybody likes purples, not everyone likes cool tones or smoky shades. Be a smart consumer. Pick this up if you think you are going to use it because it is a good bang for your buck. You're getting a lot of shadows for $35, and Morphe has a gazillion different affiliate codes that you could use to get some sort of percentage off. If I had to be super picky, the only thing I would say is while I like the design of these newer palettes that they're coming out with where it doesn't have the hard plastic and the like clasp close, I like the magnet. I just dug my great, awesome. I almost wish they would stick to the 35 shadow format, but put it in this type of packaging, similar to the Jaclyn Hill palette. Just for storage and travel purposes, that size is better for me personally. That is everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed and got some inspiration for some looks you could create if you just picked up this palette, or maybe it helped you decide whether or not you want to pick it up. Let me know what your thoughts are about this palette in the comment section down below. I would love to hear them. You can follow me on Instagram. It is JulieCamille_. But besides that, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.